Rondo, I finna slam dunk. Get big on you fake pumps. That pump ain't no fake pump. Bitch fell for the pump fake. Got him talking like first take. Get it right on the first take. Hit the hole in the first take.
But yeah, man, another episode of Sit Down with Slim. In here with the man I've been trying to get with for the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks now.
Yeah, 3 weeks, just about since the 7-day dash tour.
Yeah. I was real interested in that too. I was like, damn, that's a creative ass little marketing run. Yeah. What made you come up with that?
I was honestly, I was kind of like, all right, how can I release some music without being stereotypical? Release a song, try to get everybody on one song. I feel like people haven't heard me in a while. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I don't think one song could do it. I don't think a video can do it. A video can do it, but it's too expensive to just do it, and that's it, right?
Yeah.
So what can I do that can create a moment for people? That's my whole thing, is like moments. So, all right, here's a nice little moment. Let's do a tour that's not really a tour, but it's a wave tour, like a vibe, like a frequency. So Monday I drop a song. If you miss Monday, not even aware of Monday, I'm dropping one Tuesday. So it's almost like if you were trying to go on the Dreamville tour and they was in Atlanta. After Atlanta, they off to Texas. You either gonna catch the Texas tour or you just missed out. So that's how I was looking at it. Kind of
like how they
do
comedy shows.
Yeah.
I was like the whole weekend.
Yeah.
It's like 3 different shows.
Exactly. So I wanted to give them that moment, let people realize that the catalog is very thick, that I can do that.
Yeah.
I did all the cover art myself, spent like 72 hours doing that joint. It was very liberating to be able to dive into an idea after just getting it. Like, I just got it, dived into it, and spent 72 hours working on it. Nobody knew, you know what I mean? And I just owed it to myself and people. And so once I did it, man, I think people got a nice little range of like what kind of music that I can do, you know what I mean? Instead of giving them a song and saying, hey, like this, but only the hood niggas is gonna like this, or giving them a love track and the hood niggas like, yo, what Truez doing that? So I wanted to give them everything, you know what I mean, in 1 week. So, and that'll buy me time for my next move.
What's the next move?
I got this project I'm working on with my homeboy, Chris Huggins, Hug Dog. Like, we grew up together. He at Full Sail University, and we be on FaceTime, and I'm over there playing 2K, and he making the beat, and you know, I'm like, oh yeah, use that. Oh yeah, put 8 more bars on that. I'm just like playing the game. I might be freestyling the whole time. Next thing you know, we got like 2 beats. So I done did like 15 tracks with him in the last 3 weeks.
Damn.
Yeah. So like.
Oh, I seen that the first time I followed you on social media. You was in the studio and you was like,
you talk about Trumatic.
Yeah,
I did 9 tracks in 3 hours.
Yeah, I seen that
shit.
I was
that's
like,
crazy.
dog, that is insane, bro.
Yeah.
Then you kind of gave me them Lil Wayne feels, because I was like, I'm talking before I even heard the music.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, this nigga knocking out 9 songs in 3 hours.
Yeah.
That's some Lil Wayne type shit.
Like, I really like I said about the week thing, I had to do stuff for myself just as well as for other people. Mm-hmm. One of those things is, okay, I'm about to do this Trumatic project. I ain't about to stretch this joint out for about a month. Yeah, it doesn't deserve that. It's on industry beats. So I'm gonna knock this out, and it's gonna be fun. It's gonna make my nuts drop a little bit more. So I'm like, all right, bet. So after I was finished, I'm like, yeah, 9 songs in 3 hours. I may have got that wrong. It might be 10. I'm not sure, but like, I know 9 for certain, 3 hours. But that's light work. You know what I mean? All bars, all conviction, and like not taking no bars off. It was crazy. So that made me feel real good going into this year. You know what I mean? Musically, after coming out of a weird, dark spot, you know, not too long ago.
And what kind of spot that was? Just a writer's block type thing?
Nah, man. You know, I graduated from writer's block, and I'm proud to say that. I never thought. I remember. I'm gonna just go back real quick. I remember when I was younger, I was like, I first started rapping, and I was like, man. I remember I wrote something dope, and I said, how can I write this over and over and over and over again for years? Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? That's when you're trying to conceive the math behind writing. And so as a kid, you don't know what's dope or not. But then when that one thing is dope, I had my own punchline book. You know what I mean? So I ain't even write verses. I just wrote lines that was like punchline. So when I had something dope, that was my way to combat it. Like, okay, I'm gonna have a punchline book just in case I always run out of some dope stuff to say. And then as I got older, years go on, I don't really have writer's block no more because I don't know. I've been doing it for a while. Like, it's just weird, but that's neither here nor there. But I was in a dark place. I went through a house fire in Atlanta in 2015. And when I got back here, like, I tried to keep things alive with my crew and with my people and stuff like that. That didn't really work out. And so I had to bounce back. But I had to take some time to get my real life together. You know what I mean? Because it was doing music off the grid full time. A lot of stuff happens in your life that you're either not aware of or that you're ignoring, you know what I mean, to chase your dream. So the house fire sat me on my ass, and I had to look at and assess situations. I had to take care of my mom. Like, it was crazy, you know what I mean? And
how'd the fire happen?
Bro, I had a spiritual awakening afterwards, right? It was a furnace fire, and we were all about to go to sleep. It's me, artist Kumar, Journey was there, and my business partner at the time, and we was all about to go to sleep. And Bird was there too. He was going to Augusta the next week because he had, I think he got like kicked out or something like that, but. So he was going to Augusta the next week. We all about to go to sleep. Cool had been making beats the whole time. I go to my room. We stayed in the basement. In the basement, the studio was in the basement. It had like 3 or 4 rooms upstairs, but I wanted to stay next to the studio, of course. And so I closed my door. You know, I'm probably, if I'm not mistaken, I think I was watching The Last Samurai and about to go to sleep. And that nigga Bird was like, "Yo, I smell smoke." And I was like, "Smoke." Walked out. I seen light coming from this closet. And I'm like, geez, you know, I don't know. But I opened that joint up, and a little electrical box was on fire, dripping fire. And I was like, oh, sheesh. And, of course, I'm not going to go into details about how dumb it was. But, of course, you do the dumb thing of trying to put out a fire, especially electrical fire. We didn't make it worse, but it just didn't work. And then that joint just started climbing up the wires. And that shit hit the ceiling, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" The furnace had this little crack in it, and you seen the fire just like rising in the furnace. Man, that shit was so insane. And
I know that shit was scary,
bro. It was crazy. And then we sitting there, and we like, "Yo, like, what do we do?" You know? And then
y'all ain't get the hell up out of there.
We got the hell up out of there after a while, and then we sitting outside, and we all ran back in. Right, to grab like little shit. So we had to go back down where the fire was. I felt like the only thing that was important in my mind,
hard drive.
Bro, I grabbed the computer, bro. That was I left my phone. I ain't grabbed nothing in my room.
You better than me, because before I left the house, I'm grabbing that hard drive.
That's
Fuck the computer. I need that hard drive.
That's real. And I didn't think the fire would just even. I just didn't think that was like a real thing at that moment. Like, nah, this not about to. It ain't about to turn out like what it's about to turn out. So like I ran past the fire. The fire was coming out of the closet, and the studio door. Like, the closet's right here. The studio door is right there. So I ran right past that joint, grabbed the computer, and went up there. And I just had that joint in my hand, watching the house, you know, get caught on fire. Down. The firemen came and fucked the shit up even more. So I already knew it was just over. But yeah, I saved everybody's music, you know, everybody that was with me at the time. So I felt like I was doing a service, you know what I mean? Like, just for, like, I don't know, we put a lot into that, you know, and I put music as my life. So me losing that computer was equivalent to me losing everything I had been working for since I was like 13 years old.
Oh, I know the feeling,
you know what I mean? So, and then to a fire. Now, the spiritual awakening was, I'm going to let everybody who's viewing, you know, they can look this up, but Daniel in the Furnace. If you look up Daniel in the Furnace, look at that story, and then holla at me, and I'll tell you the connection, I'll tell you the details. But it was just like Daniel in the Furnace, bro. It was crazy. So I had to bounce back from that. It took me 2 years just because the first year was coming to grips with what just happened. Second year was getting back on track, and the third year is kind of like where I am now, where it's kind of like, all right, now start releasing and, you know, ease back into it. So that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, damn. I know that fire shit was crazy as fuck, bro.
Insane, dog. And then I actually stayed at Corey Mo's studio in Atlanta for maybe a month, or two. You know, and that was an interesting experience. He had like 4 or 5 studios in the crib, and you know, different artists. I done smoked weed.
So music was
with
literally
Gibb.
your life around that time,
Bro. Like,
that's all
seriously,
you did.
yeah, seriously. Like, stayed up late nights, early mornings, recording every day. I recorded 160 something songs one year, like that kind of life.
But bro, back up a little bit. How'd you start your crew? Cause you said the crew was in the house when the fire caught.
Yeah, I did a partnership with DJ K Slay in New York, right? And
It wasn't a deal. It was just a partnership.
it was a partnership, and I wasn't satisfied with how he was like what he wasn't doing. You know, I felt like he could have did a whole lot more. We was taking these trips to New York, but shooting these videos on our own, taking our own cameraman, you know, getting these interviews on our own. Like, we was doing everything ourselves. And I remember I told my manager and my business partner at the time, I said, bro, we can do this ourselves. Like this doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, K Slay put up one Instagram post, I get like 300 followers. I was like, that nigga need to do that a little bit more. You know what I mean? But I understand he had a lot going on. Now I know, as being a leader, I know how it could have been even for him. You know what I mean? On that level that he's at. So I was like, man, we could do this shit ourselves. I was outside of over there off Washington Road. I forgot what the apartments was, and we were just outside. I think we were just copping some weed or some shit like that. And I came up with the title. Cool had already been next to me since 13, 14, you know what I mean? Since he was like 20 years old. So that was already my guy, you know what I mean? And I wasn't thinking like putting these niggas on papers or anything like that. I wasn't even thinking like that. I was just thinking about building a team, like just a force, you know what I mean? So I had a cameraman, camera woman, videographer, a young beat maker by the name of Dez. He go by Mighty Dez now. But like helping him cultivate his stuff. You had Strategy, you had Cool and Journey, you had myself, and then people coming and going, you know, in and out that door. So I was just like, man, like, so what I was doing around 2014, 15 was building that brand. Like, yo, here's the brand. In like 3 years, that brand would have turned into they doing their own thing and I'm doing my own thing. You know what I mean? So that whole 2 years was me. It's an introduction. You know what I mean? To say the least. So, you know, we all went to the Million Man March. Like I said, we spent a week in New York, did shows at Master Payqual, like, you know what I mean? Like, things like that. And I kind of like it. I'm not going to say it wasn't my decision, but it definitely, you know, I could have said yes or I could have said no. But something was telling me that I had a decision to make, and I decided to move to Atlanta, and I felt like that was the worst. That was the worst decision that I probably made, because then that anchored to me having a lot of I had anxiety before I left, but then it intensified when I went to Atlanta.
I hate Atlanta too.
Bro, I hate Atlanta, bro. Like, I can't stand
Bro, you know the
Atlanta.
bad thing about Atlanta, and I had to explain it to people
What's
last
that?
time I was out there doing some work. I was like, bro. So this is the thing about Augusta. Augusta, it might be a show, and let's say it's not a lot of people. Let's say it's like 30, 40 people.
Yeah.
But 70% of those people at a show in Augusta are there literally to see the artist. In Atlanta, you have a show. Let's say it's 100 people at that show. 85 to 90% are there trying to gain something from you.
Yeah.
If not an artist, it's a photographer. If not a
Yeah,
photographer, it's an A&R person. Like, that shit is just a big ass networking event.
Yeah. I agree with that 100%. It's hard to get fans in Atlanta. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You make mad connections.
Uh-huh.
Your fans will have to be the 3 dudes in the studio, but not the guy that said come to the studio. Like,
Yeah.
you might have to make them the fans. But you right about that, man. People in Augusta, if they show up, I never thought of it like that. Like, niggas down here ain't really networking, so it's like, if they're coming to the show, they're coming to see the show.
Yeah.
I never even thought of it like that.
Legit fans. It's the same way with social media. Like, you know, there's people that got 10,000 followers, because right now that's my goal as a podcast. I need 10,000 followers so I can have that swipe up on IG.
Oh, yeah.
Motherfuckers that had 10,000 followers, but they only have like 10 comments on a post, and it's like they don't have no interaction. Then you have someone that have 1,000 followers,
and a whole bunch of interaction.
It'll be like 100 comments on each one of the posts. So it's like it's either A, they paid for those followers, or B, they just got horrible followers. Like they got people that just followed them because they made a cute post one time fighting or something.
Look, I'm gonna be honest, and we was talking about putting pressure. I was telling you about putting pressure on people with podcasts and stuff.
Yeah.
I put pressure on my followers. I feel like a lot of people follow me just to watch me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and that's fine. But it's
watch
like,
you move, see what you do.
Yeah, like bro, you wouldn't. So many people know who I am, but when it's time to do the show or, it's time to just put a post up, they'll tell me that they seen it and then don't like it. But they'll tell me like, yo, I seen you dropped a song a week. I was like, well, then what was the share? But like, what happened with that? Like,
where's the interaction?
Yeah, man, there's no interaction. I think you're right about that. I think that's a big part. People in Augusta will come out to see you. But they will also watch you, not to watch you fail necessarily, but just to watch you, just
to see what's going on.
Yeah,
just to see what your next move is.
They know it's like nosy following. It's not really like interactive following. There's nothing wrong with that. You got people who support you, and shout out to everybody who do support me, like verbally. But then you got the ones that just watch. They like ghost followers, and that's fine. So if you want to pay for some followers, you pay to overdo that. Yeah, you might as well have 10.
I think those be fake accounts too.
Oh, yeah, most definitely, bro.
Because all of them will say like following X amount of people and 0 followers.
I got this out because everything in the music game is for sale.
Yeah,
even people. So it's like Instagram accounts for sale, followers for sale. Everything is for sale. It's about how you sell the shit. So if you was breaking that joint down like drugs, right? And you had some, I'm not saying every drug dealer does this, but say you got some mid over here, you got some loud over here, but your loud stack is getting a little slim. You got all this mid, ain't nobody buying. A true hustler is gonna mix that joint, and he gonna smoke it and be like, it's like this, so he'll know what to tell people, but he gonna mix that joint. So I feel like the way these labels even do these artists, they do it like that. You gonna get your own, but we gonna put some money behind you too, so you can get up to that level, and then you get your own eventually. You know what I mean? It's a thing that I picked up on probably 2012, 13.
Did you always have a dream to sign to a label? Because I know you've been doing music a long time.
I had a dream that I was gonna be the first kid of G Unit.
Yeah,
I swear to God, I was gonna be the first kid. Yeah, that was
That was when, like 13 years ago.
That's when I first started rapping. It's like I was like, I'm gonna be the first kid of G Unit. Punchline in there. I'm gonna have better punchlines than Lloyd Banks.
Kid beat you.
Kid. Yo, chill, bro. You don't even know how I felt. Like even though I was older, I was out of that. I was like the first kid, and then they get kid.
Yeah.
I'm like, get out of here,
That's crazy.
Bro. But I thought I always belonged either on like a Good Music or Rock Nation. But then after Kanye started doing his thing, after I started doing my thing as a leader.
Bro, you wouldn't be scared to be signed to a artist label?
All depends. Like I was just about to say, like when I was watching Ye do that, one thing I realized, him being an artist, him having his own life and all of that stuff, that was messing up people's releases and stuff like that. But I never like really noticed that until I started to be in that position where people were kind of like, I want to release and I want to do this. And I'm like, I'm not really stopping nobody, but I'm just saying this will be safer for everybody if you release now or then and let such and such go now, because they've been waiting for, you know what I mean? And they did 3 shows last week. So it's kind of like, so I was like, nah, Good Music is out. So I haven't been wanting to get signed to a label for like the last 7 years, to be real honest with you. You know what I mean? Like that's gone. Unless it's something like Rock Nation where the artist that owns it is not an artist no more. He's reached Super Saiyan God level. You know what I mean? So
bro, nowadays it's all about being independent anyway, because all you really need is a distribution deal. You're straight.
Real. That's real.
And L.A. Reid started a nice one.
Oh yeah, I've been following L.A. Reid too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've been following that. It's all about what form you want to take shape when you make it. That's really what it's about. Do you want you can sign to a record label and make it work if you're that kind of person. If you're that type of person who needs a certain amount of freedom and exercise to exercise their own ideas, you got to go the independent route. You know what I mean? But if you're like a Lil Nas, you could just sign on the dotted line and, and they'll take advantage of you, but you'll have all this money because everybody will know you. So it's like it's this weird spot. You could be like Uzi Vert and still make a lot of money, but now start growing this independent conscious mind when you didn't have that when you signed the first time.
The music business is a crazy ass place. It's kind of like social classes,
bro.
Our classism. It's like the rich get richer
and the poor
get poor. Everybody in between is just in between.
Yeah, I always say it's even weirder. You said place. I always tell people that the music business is even crazier because it's not a place that you can even go to.
Yeah.
You can't even go to a headquarters. Like, there's no, I'm going to the hip hop headquarters, and you know what I mean? Like, it ain't none of that. It's all people hustling everybody, people taking advantage of everybody trying to get the upper hand of everybody because there's no structure, no physical structure, and no spiritual structure anymore. So it's like, but you got WWE, you can go to Connecticut and go to the WWE headquarters. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? From this big thing that's worldwide, you got a headquarters. You got music that's so abstract, and there's nowhere that you can go to like talk to somebody like head of hip hop, or you know what I mean? It's the craziest thing when you start to see it, and when you start moving in it, then you realize like, oh shit, ain't nobody got your back.
Yeah,
nobody got your. It's grimy. Like, I ain't gonna lie. One of the reasons why I left Atlanta, when I seen I was working with this producer, we did this song called Friday. I'm gonna throw his name out there or anything, but like people was like in there like this stunt man. He was a stunt devil or something in Hollywood, came through.
You said the song was called Friday?
Yeah.
Okay.
And dude doing cocaine on the table, and I'm just like. And I just moved to Atlanta, and I'm like, man, is this where I'm headed? Not me doing the cocaine, but am I going to have to really be around this and like coexist with it? Do I want to coexist with cocaine? Do I want to coexist with lean? And I did have my share of that, you know what I mean? But it's like, do I want to coexist in this life? And I had to make that decision. That's one of the reasons why I came back. You know what I mean? Like, how
long were you in Atlanta?
Shoot, I was probably in there for like maybe 5 months and all of that. I was moving.
Did you gain anything
great.
positive from it though?
Yeah, I gained a lot of fans, man. I hop off stage and everybody called me the truth. Yeah, I don't even have to say like, yo, like my name's Truez. I don't even have to make that metaphor correlation verbally for myself and say, yeah, I'm the truth. When you hop off stage and they're like, bro, yo, your shit is the truth. And I know how it would have been if I had a year or two in Atlanta and people were seeing the type of music that I did. Off the charts, bro. It would have been, I would have went stupid. You know what I mean? But then God showed me the other half. You know what I mean? The other half of, my dad did drugs too. So in the back of my mind, I always like got to be conscious of that because, DNA runs deep. You know what I mean? And I don't know if I have that kind of tolerance. I don't know if I have that strength or weakness. You know what I mean? I don't know. And I don't want to find out, really. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I had to just make a lifestyle change and move exactly where I want to, when I want to, not worry about other people, and just do everything myself, man. That's where I am now.
So what'd you do when you got back to Augusta? You still had your crew or whatever you was working with?
Yeah, briefly, and then everybody kind of went their own separate ways. I think Cool took the house fire, even harder than me. Like, even though I feel like I lost a lot, I didn't take it as hard as he did. I felt like, he sacrificed a lot to be next to me. And I remember I told him we was shooting pool at Corey Mo's spot, and it was the day we left. I said, bro, we don't deserve this, bro, and you don't deserve this. You know what I mean? Because I looked at him like, man, this dude just turned 22 or something like that, and I'm like, he just don't deserve it. You know what I mean? And came back here. I never really spoke about that to him. You know what I mean? I just try to not act like nothing happened, but just move on. And I think trauma, works differently for other people.
Yeah.
And
I was talking about that last night to someone that was venting to me. I was telling them how one of my biggest regrets in life is not understanding how different other people take things, because it was things that happened in my life.
Yeah.
And to me, it's just like, man, fuck it, I'm just gonna move on.
Yeah.
You know, I'm built like
But
this.
to them,
I'm
they
built-
holding it.
Yeah, they hold it.
Yeah,
like
bro.
mainly with my brothers, and I rarely speak on that because my brothers, I ain't gonna lie, they hate me like a motherfucker. But it's mainly because I had to, step up and be that daddy role for them, and I never understood how things
You the
affected
oldest?
them. Yeah.
I
I'm not
feel
my
that.
mom's oldest son, but I was the oldest in the household.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
my big brother didn't grow up with us.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was one of them little weird things. But
My
so
bro-
now I get it. So now I know how to talk to people about
For
things.
sure. My brother said the same thing to me. I'm the youngest, and my eldest brother about 38. He used to rap too back in the day. And I remember he used to say things, and I never felt like that, but he was like, "You would love me better if I did this," or you know what I mean. And I'm like, I was like, man,
I
where's
feel
that coming from? You know what I mean? But I guess it was being the oldest, being an example, having responsibility.
Also that tough love, because my mom gave me a lot of tough love. And I didn't get it till I got older.
Yeah, my brother was the one that gave me the tough love. You know, honestly, like, I got 2 older brothers, and one of them gave me tough love, especially as I got older. Like he got hard on me once I turned like 22. But it all worked out for the better. I feel like it made me a stronger person. You know what I mean? And I know some things were said between me and him. Our relationship is very distant now, but I tell people
Things happen for the best.
They
though.
happen for the best, and
It was meant to be.
Him being out the picture had to make me grow up, because I was still younger, bro. I was still getting away with being in the shadows and not having a responsibility. That's how I was really doing that music full time, because he was at the house and I was like, all right, shoot, I'm out. After that, I just had to grow the fuck up. I had to take care of my moms, like I said, and now I'm not mad at all. Like, I'm like, nah, it's all gravy. You know what I mean? It's just helped me be a better man. So
Yeah, that's really how you got to take things. Like, what they say, when life give you lemons, you make lemon Ciroc.
Yeah, lemon Ciroc. I was trying to come up with one before you did, but yeah. Lemon Ciroc.
I always say that, bro. You heard Diddy trying to come back with making a band?
Yeah, I seen that.
Would you try out for making a band?
Fuck no.
Why not?
Fuck no. Me.
I know some artists that I think should try out. That's why I wanted to ask you.
No, yeah. I agree. I'm not in that position, right, to be doing that. But I see so much more for myself, But I feel like
you're not willing to sell yourself to be laughed at and shit.
Yeah, nah, that'll hurt me. That'll make me like this small.
Reality TV is fucking gross too.
It's nasty, dog. It's nasty. That's
I don't think you could pay me enough money to go on reality TV.
No, and get somebody a cheesecake, bro. Before we knew what reality TV was, he had them walking over a bridge to get a cheesecake. He probably ain't never made nobody walk over a bridge to get a cheesecake. That's some fucked up shit. But that was all for the show. And look what they did, and look where they end up. Even Danity Kane. You know what I mean? Like, I just...
Chopper the only one that came out of that decent.
Half decent.
Ness was,
He just lost too many battles. Like, he kind of like, you know what I mean? He killed himself. I think he would have been
Chopper
straight.
had a nice little independent buzz, though.
Chopper was dope because he reminded us of something, like Hot Boys and all of that stuff. Like, he reminded us of something
all
that
we
we would like
Louisiana,
to listen to.
all that deep Louisiana
Yeah,
rap.
man. We was Facebook friends for a while, me and Chopper. I don't know what happened. I was Facebook friends with him, Jody Breeze, the girl, the real cute girl from Everybody Hates Chris.
Man, I
don't
was
know what
a
happened
huge
on
Jody Breeze fan, and one
Jody
of
was
my close
hard.
homeboys is too, bro. I seen a recent interview of him a couple months ago in Atlanta, and he was snapping, bro. I was like, this is not the same Jody Breeze, bro.
Word.
Like, he was real angry about
How
like
he
some
look,
simple shit. I'm gonna be honest, dog. He didn't look too good,
Dang,
bro.
Man.
I mean, he ain't look bad.
Yeah, but
he
still.
ain't look too good,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
He ain't look like the Jody Breeze I knew he could be. Cause I was just talking about that shit on the podcast I put out yesterday, bro. He used to write for Diddy. That's how he got on Boys in the Hood.
Yep. And I think the correlation between this conversation is not even making a band or reality. It's just Diddy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like to be real honest with you, like everything has the connection to Diddy. We can go back to when Mace was writing stuff for Diddy.
We just gonna keep going back. To
we
Diddy.
gonna keep going back. Craig Mack. We can go Shine. Like so, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't do making a band for Diddy. How about that? Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Would you do any reality show? Some of them not too bad, like 10
Music
reality
show?
like
Or
a
just
show like
anything.
Tip Shit or like.
I do a reality show.
Okay.
I'm hilarious, bro. I'm real
Bro, you don't
serious.
mind cameras being on you like all the time?
I don't have I don't want to say no or yeah, but like I don't think I would have a problem. Like I'm goofy, bro. Like I would, like I'm stupid. You know what I mean? I just take my music is more serious, but I'm like hilarious as a person. So that would be, I
Bruh.
feel at home.
So my next question would have to be, so how do you feel about fame? Because every time I ask people that, I don't think they understand like of course, because you've never been like famous.
Yeah.
But like just the ideal of fame, because like I remember I was watching this video of Michael Jackson a long time ago when I was young, and it's always stuck with me because it looked like a scary clip to me, because it was Michael Jackson, and they set it up to where he could go to the grocery store and could go grocery shopping, but they cut the grocery store. They cut the grocery store off. Everybody came out of it, and they hired actors to pretend like they was grocery shopping. And he was walking around pretending like he was grocery shopping and interacting with everybody in the store. That shit was so fucking creepy to me, dog. So that's why I asked you, like, so how you feel about fame?
I learned, okay, I never been famous.
Mm-hmm. But you've been popular.
Being in Augusta allows me to know the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows who I am. Everybody know my name, all of that shit. Sometimes I get free shit. Sometimes I don't. You know what I mean? But there's a huge difference from being famous, popular, or celebrity in general, right? Fame is like money. When they say money is the root of all evil, fame is like that, but abstract. You can't put your hand on fame, right? So that shit can get you a whole bunch of money, or it can get you a whole bunch of trouble. That shit can get you everything you want. That shit can get you everything you don't want. Like, fame is so free flowing, and fame isn't a bad thing. It's just a thing, you know what I mean, that is used for at your own discretion. You know what I mean? I can go to a club and try to get in free every time. If I do that, I will be more famous. You know what I mean? I would, if people see me skip the line every time, I would be more famous. When
they'll try to figure out who you are.
They'll try to figure it out. So, but when I go out, my homeboy will probably be like, "Hey, Truez, see if what you got." I'm like, "Nah, we'll chill here. I don't want to abuse nothing." You know what I mean? I like to stay in my little realm of, once I get up there, I want you to be like, "Oh man, Truez, you good." I feel better about that. But if I flex it, it's gonna be good and bad that comes with that. You know what I mean? Like, if I flexed it at Empire downtown, niggas might try me when I get in. You know, if I flex it at Garden City, mixed crowd, they might just want to know who I am. You know what I mean? And they might buy me drinks. Like, you never know. But fame is just a real tricky thing. But
I noticed you love Augusta nightlife too.
Yeah. You
love Augusta, period.
I love it. You know, on the low, yo, you know, it's crazy. I have a love-hate relationship. The hate part came, you know, I'm not from here. And when I moved down here, I always related this place.
Where'd you move from?
Jersey.
Okay.
And I always compared this place to hell. And why I said that was I was here against my will. And I was picked on for being from up north. Picked on in general, you know what I'm saying? And I don't remember being picked on in Jersey. So now I'm like, oh shit, I'm like, Augusta's growing though, and it's grown as it grows on
rapidly
me.
too.
Yeah, and it's growing on me. So I go downtown, and I'm getting older, and I love what I've done. You know what I mean? Like I think I love life a little bit more than I did before, and that's allowed me to appreciate Augusta while it's in front of me instead of hating life and how life is going and hating the place that I'm at and finding everything wrong with it. So it's all really a change of mindset. You know what I mean? I like the people. You go to Atlanta, the people are totally different. You know what I mean? Like I really don't. I would like Atlanta if the people were different. You know what I mean? Like what we were talking about. But down here, like I trust Augusta niggas, and what I mean by that, like I trust that. I don't know. It's like a weird thing. Like I went to Josie and Westside, right? I can trust a nigga from Southside better than I can just trust a nigga in Atlanta. A nigga from Southside ain't even gonna treat an out of towner a certain kind of way. I can't trust that in Atlanta. Like I can converse differently. Like it's like I guess
you had some bad vibes while you was in Atlanta.
Bro, I lived in
can
Atlanta
tell.
too when I was a child too. Like
Yeah.
even then, like, you know, it was just weird. You know what I mean? It's just not my cup of tea. You know, I'd rather go to New York and see those weird people than Atlanta and see those weird people. That's how I look at it. Augusta is really
Atlanta is a different beast, dog.
It's a different
like
beast, man.
you literally get all the stereotypes of the South in Atlanta.
that's the thing. I think that's where I'm trying to get at. It's too stereotypical. Down here, it's Augusta stereotypical, but it ain't stereotypical in general.
It's kind of like the New York of the South, and it's like everybody there wants to be somebody without being somebody. So it's a lot of flexing. I can
Talk
tell
about
you don't
Atlanta,
really
right?
like.
No, I'm not a flexer.
Yeah,
you
you
know
don't
what I
like all
mean?
that flexing, cause I'm not neither. Cause that's one of the biggest things I hated about living in Atlanta.
Yeah.
When I was in Atlanta, it felt like every time I left the house, it don't matter what the fuck I was going to go do.
Yeah.
I'm always spending at least $100, and I'm like, bro, this ain't me. Like one
And they
thing I
want you to
love,
flex too.
Yeah, and one thing about Augusta I love is like right now. I ain't ate all day, so I'm in the mood for wings.
Yeah.
I can just go to Alley Cats and I
Yeah.
can, get a $10 wing
Yep.
plate and a $1 beer, and
Yep.
I'm good.
And then the waitress say, "Hey, baby, what do you need?"
Yeah.
Not-
in Atlanta, you standing in it's the
Yeah,
middle of the
bro,
day. You
come
standing in the
on,
middle of
dog.
a crowd. You finally get your food. You gotta stand up.
Waitress ain't kind. They like,
Yeah.
you still need a minute. All right, well, I'll be back. And you're just kind of like,
Everybody acting stuck up.
bruh, it's the experience.
All
is
the hoes
different.
broke as hell, but they calling you broke.
Yo, and that's another thing too. One thing I learned doing the shows there, man, they wouldn't mind if I really flexed, bro. They like if I really got on there and rapped about shit I ain't have and like just dressed a certain way. They want that. They want the
That's
flex.
what they like, bro.
Oh, my
It's marketable.
gosh, bro. But even oh man, I never even seen that before. You can't flex in New York.
But that's what I love about where hip hop is going now, though, because now it's not cool to be gangster no more. That's why I be laughing at niggas that make all this gangster trap music. I'm like, bro, y'all know y'all ain't gonna blow.
Yep.
What they said, being gangster isn't in style anymore.
It's not in style.
Everybody's saying that now. It's so good to just be yourself
Be yourself.
nowadays. To be a J. Cole, to be a Kendrick, to be a J.I.D.
I think that's what makes me comfortable today, right? Where I came up with Cole and Kendrick, that little era right there. When Cole dropped in 2009, I was like, oh shit. I thought music was done. Remember that time period, bro?
Yeah,
like,
that little
was
weird
a
period we had where we didn't have
period.
nobody at the top.
Then Jay-Z dropped Blueprint 3, a year later. Kanye drops The Dark Twisted. Like, it started picking back up. But when I heard Cole, I was like, oh, shit, like, music's not dying, right? Kendrick, I heard him, like, 2 or 3 years later. But, like, when I was moving in 13 and doing my interviews in Atlanta and all of that, we were growing our hair at the same time. Like, we were doing everything on the same level. I feel like location-wise, I would have popped if I was in a different location. But we literally, and without me even like trying to do what they do,
You probably should have went to New York around
bro.
that time period.
I should have stayed in New York when I was up there on I should have just stayed there. You know what I mean? That would have been best. I think I would have met a lot of people. Like I was already meeting a lot of people. I should have just stayed there, bro. I couldn't leave my mother. Like you know what I mean? Like it's just.
I feel that.
Yeah, bro. Like man, I just wish I had that. I had that freedom, but that's neither here nor there. But we here now, and I feel better though. Like I'm loving life, bro. Even though everything ain't where I needed to be, I'm just happy I'm not in a
It'll
place
make
where I
more
was.
for the documentary.
Oh yeah, and I gotta work on one of those, bro. Like I done did so much stuff.
I just started working on one I'm about to shoot.
I see your post. Yeah, I see your post. I ain't
I'm about
wanna
to shoot one, bro.
Word. Well,
Yeah, but I'm stuck between two ideals. And last night I had a little episode with someone, not an episode, but he was just venting to me, and then that made me want to change my topic. I don't want to say the topic.
Okay,
on
yeah,
the
that's
mics.
right. Yeah.
I'll tell you after.
I forgot
the mics,
we was
though,
on the
for
mics. I was just like, hey, what was it?
Oh yeah. Trust me,
But,
I do that shit all the time. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna shoot that documentary, bro.
That's what's up.
But bruh, podcast I put out yesterday. Your name came up too. I told you, because Maine. That's my dog, bro.
Yes.
He's been on my podcast
Real
a couple
cool
times.
dude. Made me laugh.
And I told him, I said, bro, I'm about to do this interview with Truez on Wednesday. I said, I'm gonna go ahead and ask him the question, bro.
Yeah.
Bruh, why do artists from Augusta hate being called local artists?
I don't know. All right, I'm gonna answer for myself, and I'm gonna manifest an answer for other people.
Okay.
For myself, I don't like it because me as a person, I'm not local. I've been too many places where those supporters that I was telling you about, they're not all from here. You know what I mean? Not saying I'm famous. No, you gotta take that word out. I think that's
I'm with
where
you.
the local artist fame is always lurking around that phrase, where it's like you are local because you're not famous. Nah, fame don't got nothing to do with that, right? It's about
It's the
how you
mindset.
move, bro. Like I'm good in Atlanta. Like I know spots in New York. Like you know what I mean? Like I done been to DC. Like I've been to LA. Like you know what I mean? So I'm not local. I'm locally stable. You know what I mean? But um do you tell 50 Cent that he's local in New York? You know what I mean? But it's New York. It was one of the at that time it was a big mecca for music. But do you say, nah, nigga, you just local? Like, nah, like this is the mecca. Augusta's just not the mecca, right? Now, other people, they shouldn't be mad if they haven't made Nash. Am I using the right word? Like national moves. You know what I mean? Like they shouldn't be mad. Like I done been on blogs in France. Like you know what I mean? Like I got French fans. Like so I don't get mad when somebody say local artists. Like when somebody say support your local artists. You know I still like the link. Like I don't. You know I ain't mad at it. I think other people are mad because they don't want to be local. Whereas me, I've already stepped outside of the box. Whatever you call me is just on you. You know what I mean? I'm presenting everything for you to make up the story anyway. I don't have a problem with the local thing. Augusta people, I just feel like Augusta rappers and artists and stuff like that, they're just working so hard to bust out of a local mentality outside of just music. Some people don't even want to be here in general, bro. Like, you know what I mean? They don't even want to be here. Forget music. So
But
when
you know what I hate about that, bro?
What's that?
When people diss Augusta so hard, and I'm a military brat, so I done moved around a lot of places, a lot of horrible places.
So
too.
you're not local, right?
Yeah, not even just that. It's just like I know there's worse places. Augusta isn't a horrible place. The thing
not.
about Augusta is
It's actually one of the safest places on earth.
yeah, definitely one of the safest.
Yeah.
But it's just all Augusta really needs is for that one group of people to come together and make it better for all the artists we have out here. Because we got photographers out here, we got videographers,
Everything, man.
we got rappers, we got a lot of talented people. We just have nowhere to showcase them.
Yeah.
We even got people that support them, just nowhere to showcase.
So now let me segue to the podcast thing.
Uh-huh.
This is why I was online saying what I was saying
About podcasts.
about podcasts. Now, the way I do
What's the line you said first though?
man, I can't remember, bro. Like,
But it was about like podcasters not not being the place for artists to go to, or
with us not having the platform, right? And what it was doing was it was me thinking all we need is middlemen. That's all we need.
just put the fire up under their ass.
That's it. We don't need rappers. We don't need singers. We don't need photographers. We do need for that. They're a form of a middleman. But we need y'all. Like, so my point of me doing that was even the person I know is doing a podcast is going to be like, what? Like, what? You know what I mean? And might hop under the status, but that's fine.
Oh, it worked though.
It worked, bro. Like it's super, bro. It worked, and I love AE to death, but it's like you got somebody like AE, right? And all the podcasts will get her on there, and then they just do their own episodes and stuff like that. And in my mind, I'm like, man, there's way more people out here. You know what I mean? So when I speak up, I do the podcast with Maine, and then I hop off, and then Maine. When he said he had the idea, but when I was there, I also said the idea that he had, which was even bringing podcasters on the podcast. So this episode right after, he had Young, Broke, and Hungry on the podcast. And it's like, that's how it's supposed to be, but it's supposed to be like this all the time. It's just supposed to be like this revolving door where if this dude drops a project, he need at least 4, 5, 6 spots to hit in the city alone.
Correct.
If he hits those in the city, that local shit goes out the window. Cause then he's gonna, and I think of things in a spiritual sense too. He hits those 6 spots. He's going to say, "Fuck it, I'll gas up the car and go to Atlanta. Fuck it, I'll gas up the car and go here." But if he don't get a chance to hit those spots, it don't exist to him.
But you do see like how that's hard for us though, right? Because
Yeah.
of course, I come from the podcasting side,
Yeah.
and even though I'm fresh on this shit, I just started like really doing these interviews probably like March.
Yeah.
But bro, what I seen so far, and I done did interviews with a lot of artists, even more I haven't put out.
They ain't got it. What you about to say? What you about to say?
It's a lot I got to say. Honestly, I don't even know which one I'm about to spit out first.
Okay.
But the first one is you sit down with these artists and you talk to them. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, you're really hungry. I love that shit.
Appreciate it.
That 7-day shit you did inspired the fuck out of me to want to do songs. I told myself I was dropping videos every day this week. It inspired me.
Word.
Most of these artists, I sit down and talk to them, and I basically just bunched everything I was about to say into one.
Mm-hmm.
When you sit down and talk to them, they have this thing about themselves where they feel like you're supposed to kiss their ass, and you're supposed to. It's your job to bring them to you, and it's like, bro, I'm trying to showcase you, bro. This ain't even about me. I'm trying to showcase you.
Okay. I know the answer to this.
Mm-hmm.
So when I started rapping, a lot of these niggas that's rapping right now, bro, no matter how old they are, they could be 30 years old. They probably just started not too long ago. Their first project was probably 2 years ago. You know what I mean? My first project was when I was 13, passing CDs out, Josie, right? But before all of that, I'm in my room and I am breaking down the industry. I am breaking down artists. I'm dissecting every little thing, right? I know you're not supposed to kiss my ass. I only knew that because I studied the game. So that label that me and my business partner did was called Students of the Game. It was that for a reason, because that's how I felt for myself.
Mm-hmm.
If Joe Schmo drops an album and gets on he don't know what to say. He don't know what to say. He don't even have time to conceive it. See, he got a full-time job. He has a full-time job, just dropped his first project, first 3 videos, and he thinks he owed the world.
Correct.
When I dropped my first video, I was 19, 20 years old and didn't expect shit from it. You know what I mean? Like nothing that I got right now, I expected. I just wanted.
That's because you respect the art too.
I respect the art and I have an appreciation. I'm a historian. And my thing was I just wanted to be the best, bro. I just wanted everybody to know I was the best. You know, I want people to be like when they think of
My bad. That's
nah,
me.
you good. When you think of lyrics, I want people to be like Truez. When you think of artistry, full scope artistry, I want people to be like Truez. It wasn't to be famous, wasn't to have money. What these people do it for, I don't know. And that's the problem. So that's why I was able to say that online and niggas not really super come for me. Why? Is because if you watch me over the years, you know that I live this shit. It's not like I'm going to say this shit because I feel
But you
it.
do know you're just one artist. So
just
I know
one.
you're speaking for yourself.
I know.
But as a whole, bro,
I can't speak
it's
for
hard,
everybody.
especially like, it's hard to get people. It's hard to get people under a schedule. I'm going to be honest. Even my closest homeboys that I do work with,
Yeah.
them niggas is always late.
Yeah.
They always just,
Bro, but-
That's why it's weird for people that like show up on time.
I'm
That shit
different.
fucks me up.
I'm different, bro. Like I've been trying to tell people for so long that I'm not who people think that I am. You know what I mean? I am a different breed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a different human being. I wasn't born here, but I was raised here. My mind is different. My mind sees what everybody else sees, but it can take it somewhere. Just like you being all over the place allows you to take everything you do all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
You know, our mind is the only thing that can allow us to do
That gets you out that local
bro, that's
mentality.
it. And so
That's all I'm working on right now. That's why I'll never be
mental,
in Augusta.
right? Yeah, man. Yo, you
Yeah.
exercising right now, bro, mentally, and that's a beautiful thing. But these artists ain't never had that. Even the ones I ran into 5-6 years ago, clueless. And I'm just like, damn, like, what is it about me? Why? I had to ask those questions for myself. I wasn't just walking around here like I know. I had to grow and be like, oh shit, I was really in my room, rapping everybody else's music, looking at how fucking Pop move, looking at
Yeah.
how Jay-Z move his hand, look at how he answers his questions. What or what not to say, looking at why I know why Kanye was upset when he was saying you ain't got the answers. And everybody was saying he was crazy, but I knew exactly why. It had nothing to do with him being crazy. It had everything to do with
Nah, Kanye got a complex mind though. So.
he got a complex mind, and that's how I feel about myself. But it's like he's telling Sway, I lost $30 million, and Sway saying you should do it yourself. bro. So he gonna snap and be like, bro, you don't have the answers.
See, I know,
Yeah.
I knew exactly why he snapped. It's just that Kanye goes overboard with shit sometimes. But
That's what happens when you're famous.
That's true. But bro, I have those problems too, and eventually I snap because it's like I'm an entrepreneur. I've been in business for like the last 4 or 5 years.
Your boy from the mall, I just ran into him. He mentioned you.
Pitt.
Yeah, he was like,
that's my brother.
Yeah, man, my boy Slim got a podcast. I was like, yeah, that's where I'm going. Like, go ahead, dog. I just thought that was real interesting.
Yeah, that's my brother, dog.
Yeah.
Shout out Pitt.
Word.
But
I didn't know you was Slim until, I know you about Rodney, so I didn't know you was Slim until I was like, damn, that's weird. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but yeah, so I've been in the business like the last 4 or 5 years, and it's like not even the people closest to me. It's like just my friends that I kick it with.
Yeah.
They always have these wild ass ideas or this good ass advice to give me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bruh, so why you ain't do the shit? Like I remember one time, and this is funny, dog. This is a funny story. I never even told this before. So it was one time I came up on a small little piece of money, and I was about to start another business.
Yeah.
But one of my homeboys that had been around me for like the last 10 years, like we've been living around each other the last 10 years, he didn't have a car. So I was like, you know what I'm about to do? I'm about to come up with this like real crazy ass like question for him, and if he answers it right, I'm just gonna go ahead and buy this nigga a car with some of the money that I got for this business venture.
Word.
So I asked this nigga a question. I said, hey, bro, if you had 10 grand right now, 10 grand to do whatever you want with it, what would you do with it? Of course, this nigga started spitting out these wild ass business ideas. He started talking about penny stocks. He started talking about food trucks. A lot of shit that costs more than $10,000. And all I wanted this nigga to say was a car, bro.
Yeah, it's something that you need.
Yeah, just invest in yourself. That's all I wanted you to say was something investing in yourself.
Yeah.
Somehow, me asking him that question, because I asked him that question around like 4 or 5 people, just on a drunk night on some bullshit.
Yeah.
Then I asked him again in the morning to
Your
see was he for
sober
real.
mind was controlling the whole thing now.
Yeah. Because I asked him again the next day. So that turned into every time I seen one of my friends, we always kicking it, they was pitching me these $10,000 ideas. And I was like, oh, so all y'all think I'm running around here looking for business ventures. No, I'm not. I just really wanted to know.
Yeah.
But that taught me, like, bro, people don't invest in themselves, bro.
Nah. They wait.
And they always like, everybody always has a good ass idea for you and not themselves.
I feel like, all right, so I know a little bit about both ends because I've had investors as well. I've had investors while not trying to get investors, just doing you, and then the motherfuckers just come. You know what I mean? One thing I know about myself, like me, it's hard for me to sell my music. How do I sell something that's so real to me? And when you've been doing this so long without selling you on all of me, like how can I sell you in 30 seconds?
That's another thing a lot of artists don't understand, bro.
Yeah.
Like, so that's the content game nowadays in this age
doing,
right now.
right?
Yeah. I noticed it. I noticed it.
Yeah, like
you're giving yourself to all the people.
And you seen the past, the past videos I put out, like something just clicked. You know what I mean? Like content algorithms, like it all just kind of clicked to me, and I was like, these motherfuckers. I had to use the platform, and I was like, these motherfuckers need to see what I've done, doing, and did almost every day. You know what I mean? How can I do that? 7-day thing, and then before that,
You gotta stay active on social
I gotta
media.
stay active, and I wasn't like that because I was.
You gotta put out good creative content too, dog. A lot of artists don't understand that though, and that's what I've been trying to pitch ever since I started this photography and videography stuff. I've been trying to pitch that, like, content is key nowadays. Like, you could literally get on tomorrow with a video. Okay, another short funny story. Me and one of my homeboys put a video together. We put it out. It went viral. The guy that was in the video, he thought, "Oh, I got a viral video out. I'm dropping a song next week. My song is gonna go viral too." That's not the algorithm of Facebook.
Don't work like that.
Not at all.
Yeah, man. Like algorithms it's a beast, man. And
Facebook is horrible too, by the way.
I can't stand Facebook.
That shit is so garbage. Only people in Augusta use Facebook. I swear, bro.
Ain't nothing. I said this on my rant about podcasts. I was like, because I rant about everything.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
I've seen a lot of your rants.
So I said, ain't shit popping in Augusta but the internet. That's it.
That's it, bro.
And what separates artists in real life is like a me where people ain't all on my page. Like they not, ain't nobody kissing my ass. But if I go out, they all know me. It's
Yeah.
like a realness to it. When you take away the realness, you live on the internet. And when you live on the internet, you don't know what's real. And then you will feel entitled when you're in real life.
It's a false sense of reality, bro.
It's crazy, bro. But
The internet had you thinking motherfuckers is straight too, bro.
dog, super straight.
Girls be photoshopping their pictures, make their waist small and their titties bigger.
Dog, I'm over it. That's why I think that's why I'm able to even put out content right now, because I'm overlooking at it. I'm
I'm to the point with Facebook where I only get on there and post my shit, bro. I'll do a quick stroll because they algorithm sucks. So the people you look at the most is gonna be the people at the top.
Yeah, I hate that.
That shit's garbage. But I'll do that. I'll scroll a little bit. Then when I start seeing people I normally don't see, I go off, bro. But for the most part, I'm just sharing my shit on there.
I just that's how like people be like, yo, you seen that? I sent you on Facebook. I said, bro, I don't scroll. That's my phrase. Like I don't scroll. I post.
That's a good one. I like
there,
that one.
but I don't scroll.
Yeah.
I just put a video up of. It said me. It said him, and the dude says send me nudes, and then it says her, don't show nobody, and then it says him, and it's like a little video from my Friday video when we were looking in the phone and we all like backed up. It was like, oh, but it's like that, and I just hopped off. I was at the mall about to come over here. One scroll, close app. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that shit is dead. And I remember telling my business partner, I was like, man, I can't wait till I make it so I could delete my Facebook. That was a goal, to delete my Facebook. And that's crazy. But ain't nothing popping for everybody in Augusta. Ain't nothing popping in Augusta but the internet. You think it's Facebook is like this for somebody in Brooklyn? And I was like, no, it is not. Because New York is too big. Like, you'll be at 5,000 friends in 2 days. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you go to Atlanta. First thing somebody's gonna ask you is, what's your Twitter handle? What's your IG? Probably gonna be IG is the biggest thing too, because people like seeing visuals.
Yep.
But in Augusta, bro, they love that. They love ratchet ass Facebook, and that motherfucker ratchet.
I don't know why though. Like
it's something I can't put my finger on either.
I feel like I've been in. I remember I had a little dispute with a rapper one time, and I had dropped the CD, right? And I had addressed some things in the CD. And it was 2015. At that time, that shit exploded on Twitter, right? They were tweeting me, at me, like tweeting and all of that stuff. At that time, I felt like Twitter was more popping in Augusta. And then that time period is gone, though, like with the artists and stuff like that. Like now, I don't know if were you here in 2015?
2015.
When Fresco's was downtown.
Nope, I wasn't here.
So look, if you was
I
here,
was in Atlanta. I finished school in 14.
Bro, you would have been salivating over what was being created here, bro. Like, when I tell you, I thought we all was going to make it. Like, that's how I thought. Not for me. I've always thought I was going to make it. And then in this particular year, I was like, oh, shit, we all about to make it. Bro, the artist community was like this. It was doing this. I'm gonna tell you off camera why it separated, at least from my point of view. But when that joint separated, it went to more just individuals again.
Fresco was owned by Libra, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out to Libra. And it went to individuals after that, bro. And
that's somebody I really
togetherness.
want to interview too, because I know she's real passionate about Augusta and trying to make a platform for Augusta.
She makes me love Augusta every time I hate Augusta.
Bro, I went to her last culture day, bro, and I was like, damn, dog, this shit's such a good ass ideal, but it's just like, I did the
first one. You would have seen me in a
yeah. I seen you at the second one too. You came and walked through, right?
Yeah, I did a walkthrough. Yeah.
Sure. I seen you there because I actually had a conversation with somebody about your music when you walked in. It was a pretty interesting conversation too. Because they were saying how they were like, man, I don't know, man, Truez all right, but he kind of weird, man. And I was like, I'm gonna be honest, dog. Like, the style he got is what's in right now.
Yeah.
I was like, we might think he weird. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But that don't mean the outsides think he's weird, because nowadays that's what's in. Even though I don't even think you weird.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's so beautiful. I think that is beautiful. I don't know why I think that is so beautiful. It makes me laugh. it made me laugh because I'm like,
bruh, people aren't used to seeing people that be themselves.
dog, yo, it's crazy.
That's why, like, it's funny. I just was in I just was in Orlando, and it was, oh man, dog. I said I was never telling this story on mic, but I got to now, bro. It was these ratchet ass girls that came to this resort with us. We was at a family resort in Orlando.
Yeah.
These bitches went to the pool. They had thongs on.
Dang.
They was twerking under the waterfall. All the white kids was just looking like.
Yeah.
And one of the girls just kept talking to me. You know, I wasn't like messing with her or nothing, but she kept talking to me. So one of the little white kids came up to me. She swam up to me, and she was like, "Is that your wife?" I was like, "Hell no." Nah. She like, "That's your girlfriend?" I said, "Hell no." Nah. She like, "But she's with you?" I was like, "No." I said, she's not with me." And she's like, "Oh, okay." She's a little spicy, isn't she? She's like, "Don't tell her I said that though. She'll kick my ass."
That's real, yo. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I know how I can probably come off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say I don't play into it sometimes, like, cause it's funny.
Yeah.
Oh,
but nah. What I was about to say is the girl told me, like, when I kind of shut her down, she told me like, "Oh yeah, you look like you like white girls anyway."
Oh shit.
And I was just kind of like, "Oh, okay. I see what you're doing here. I wear glasses and shit, so you thinking like, oh yeah, he a cornball."
Yeah.
Nah, I just don't like ratchet
And 'cause
ass
you're looking
bitches.
over there.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just don't like ratchet bitches, my nigga.
I can't. I'm gonna be honest. I can't stand ratchet chicks. This girl came into Humanity the other day and was like, "Remember that time you tried to save me from going to level 9?" I was like, I started dying. I like.
Damn, that's funny.
Yeah,
we was just talking about that last night because this girl was like, "I'm going to $2 Tuesday or
And
some
I'm
shit,"
like, uh-oh.
and me and my homeboy started laughing. It was like, "Oh, you going to 3DL? Oh, all right,
All right, yeah, I catch you on the flip side.
yeah,
But-
I'm straight with that."
Yeah, man. Like, I've been growing. The thing about me too, man, with this whole people not knowing how to take me, is because as I get older, I grow more into myself because I'm like, as you get older, you don't give a fuck, right?
Yeah,
So,
because you being you.
yeah, I'm being me, and then I got
It's not your job to make people comfortable with you. It's their job to be comfortable with you.
man, and they gotta work hard. Man, I feel bad for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But before, I felt bad for myself, so I would be how people wanted me to be. I get on interview, be like, "Yo, what's up? It's the kid Truez, and you rocking with," you know what I mean? But now I'm just like, "What up?" Like I'm just like, "Yo, I'm
Yeah.
at home." Like I'm like,
Just comfortable.
yeah, I can't live for nobody else no more, bro. My life done got way too hard to be worrying about how people worry about me. I just gotta.
It's
find my
hard.
place.
It's hard keeping up with that too,
Bro.
Like especially like I ain't gonna lie, I never had that problem only because like, you know, I do all my own shit, so I never had people around, so I was never able to be uncomfortable recording. But I couldn't imagine like starting out some things. And matter of fact, I'll give a better example. I had a podcast before I started the one I do now, and it was things that I didn't really want to do. I wasn't comfortable with doing that I felt like the person I was on the podcast with did, and you know that creates. It's supposed to create a healthy balance, but you know when you don't like that direction, you're kind of like, I don't know, because I'm more so the type. I'm like, it's just certain things I'm not gonna do just to get on. Like I'm not gonna sit on a mic and talk about sex for an hour.
No.
I'm not gonna talk about a lot of shit, dog. I'm gonna talk about some shit. I have to talk about some shit that's intriguing and motivational. I have to,
because you probably flow better. You know what I mean? And I
it's what I'm interested in also.
When I was in New York, they tried to tell me when I did that deal, they was like, "You need to do something to go viral. You need to go on 125th and argue with the Israelites."
I hate that shit.
I was like, "Yo, these were the straws that broke the camel's back." I was like, "Argue with the Israelites? Like, are you for real?" And then they was trying to make me. I felt like they were about to weaponize my skills.
Yeah.
I felt like they were about to have me go at niggas because it was a few times that they'd be like, "Yo, how you feel about such and such?" And I'd be like, you know, I'm real picky on music. I don't like nothing. I don't really like anything. You know what I mean? I only listen to probably like 2 or 3 local artists. Like I don't listen to the greats.
You said local.
Yeah, I said local, and I won't call them local until I feel like certain moves are being made. But I still listen to them. That can be subjective, and they don't know who they are, so it's okay. But so I still listen, but I'm really closed off. So when they found out I didn't really like fuck with too much shit, yo, you should should say this. And my lyrical ability is crazy. So I felt like they were about to try to weaponize me, like, in a way, because the Kendrick Control verse had just came out. Like, that shit was about to be the wave for a little bit. I'm like, nah, man, let me get out of here before they had me killed.
Those was weird times, too.
Man, it was very weird times.
To me, Kendrick ain't, like, the name dropping, it was cool for a verse.
Yeah.
It wasn't one of those things where it's just like, oh, man, you seen how he dissed all those people? Like, nigga 50 did that in How to Rob. And 50's was way crazier.
And that only a historian would know that, but a blind motherfucker would be like, he killed everybody. But a historian be like, 50 did it better. Like, a historian will say that. You know what I mean? Like, so, yeah, you're right. Like that.
50 was saying some shit, too.
Yo, bro,
that shit was grimy.
I ain't gonna lie, that Control verse, I felt pressure, local pressure from people saying that I should do something because you're a real hip-hop, da-da-da-da. So I wrote some fire shit. It's probably the best shit I've ever written. And
Did you put it on wax, though?
Half of that shit. Bruh, I'm like this. You know when you in your notes, right?
Uh-huh.
And you, like, typing, but the trash can is right there.
Yeah.
Boy, I did one of those numbers, flip that joint up, but I hit the trash can. That shit said, and delete it. And luckily, I wasn't smoking a lot of weed at that time, so I was able to remember a lot of it, but the best parts I did not remember. Yeah. And I end up recording this song called Sarcasm. And Sarcasm is the thing that got K Slay's attention. But I took...
That's what I was going to ask you before we got off the mic.
How did I do that?
Yeah, how'd you meet K Slay?
It was just like I was on World Star heavy. Like, almost every video I was dropping that joint on World Star. So I had got, a good little bit of eyes on me and stuff like that.
Were you one of the people that was paying to get on World Star?
Of course, you have to. Everything is for sale. And I remember people was telling me, like, I'm like, of course other people don't pay. Of course they take. If I was running a damn website, I would take things and not have people pay. But for the other motherfuckers that they don't know who you are, you gotta pay. Like, that's just how everything is.
What was the ticket back then?
It was rates, but like probably about 700. Yeah.
See, bro, I got into a mean debate
video
about that.
every month.
The debate was actually about paying for features. It was about paying another Augusta artist for a feature, and we got into a mean, like, week-long debate about it.
That's
and
tough.
Basically, I was like, I'm gonna be honest. If that person is on and they have those connections, I would pay.
Yeah.
But
if they not on,
I have to see the Augusta artist that's on first.
I ain't gonna lie. A lot of people have offered to pay me. And I'm flattered, you know what I mean? But I feel like it's one of those things between like a fame and a popular type of deal where if I take this money and give you a verse and I chill and then, the shit don't go nowhere, I can't have you out there talking shit about me or whatever. I can't have that. The question I will say to somebody is, what's your budget? And I ain't about to overcharge. They be like, honestly, bro, like, I only got 100. All right, toss me $30. Just toss me $30 for my troubles, like, you know what I mean, or whatever I'm doing right now to hop off and do something for you.
Take me for a drink and some wings.
Yeah, like some shit like that. Like,
afterwards.
The barter system needs to be very much alive here. You know what I mean? Like, I remember, I'm gonna say this. We still gotta chop it up, but like 420 hit me up. He wanted to do some work, right? And 420 visuals.
Yeah, I was supposed to do an interview with him also.
So you could mention this on the interview, you know what I mean? But like, and I told him it's cool. Like, we gonna work, you know what I mean? I put money in his pockets and stuff like that. But if you want to work with me and you ask me for money or to pay you to work with me, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to accept somebody coming to me, wanting to work with me, but then wanting for me to pay them for, their service. I get what
I'm definitely worried about that also.
You know what I mean? Like, that's like, if you ask me, like, Truez, I really want to interview you, but just send the $50 deposit. Like, bro, if you really want to interview me, just interview me. Like, if you want to. So my whole thing is, I would pay for a 420 visual, easy. You know what I mean? But this is for just anybody else that does that.
He got dope fast too.
Dope real fast. But that barter system, bro, it needs to be alive. Like, it needs to be alive. Like, I told 420, I said, I'm on a rebranding period right now. If you could help me rebrand, I do anything you want. Like if you want money, cool. If you need me to name drop you, whatever, cool. If you want me to put in money so we can go take a trip, cool. If you want, you know what I mean? Like I done did this before. Like it just the money just need to be like this. If we all out for the same thing, that's the problem.
You want it to be a little bit more than business.
Yeah, I needed to be more than business.
See, I know how it is,
business.
but I also know 420's mind state because I don't know him personally. I've never met him before. He actually DM'd me before we had a conversation, but I've been watching him on social media after he DM'd me, and I was like, okay, he knows and he reads the same type things I read.
That you do, yeah. You can tell when somebody is on the same line. That's why I can't tell nobody I can't tell them that right off the bat. I can have a personal conversation with them and we'll talk about it. That ain't no problem, but typing over the internet, I'm not gonna say all of that. That's just too much for me. And then I don't really type a lot.
But honestly, I feel like those are one of the type situations and conversations that's kind of healthy.
Like, I don't know. I have a vision for Augusta that is not necessarily there, but all the pieces are in place. Every piece. It don't need nobody needs to pay anybody. We all got jobs. Half of us got jobs. Some of us are, entrepreneurs. You know what I mean? And got their own money. But if we put our own money into the shit, you are getting paid. Because all you was going to do with that money was do the same shit that we going to do right now. Mm-hmm. You wanted to go to Miami? Well, I want to get to Miami too, nigga. Let's go to Miami. Yeah. Let's shoot the video. Let's do a show. And let's say we did it and come back, edit the film.
You know who Lo is, the producer?
Yeah, I know Lo.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Lo got an idea just like that, bro. And it's fire as fuck.
Yeah, well, first of all, Lo, don't be saying no shit about no basketball on the internet because I gets busy. I need him to see that. He really disrespected me on the internet, and I just had to bow out. But yeah, that's my boy. He put me on this project. He was one of the only dudes ever out of all these rappers who know me. One of the only dudes ever to hit me up and put me on his project. Because because we got that style, you know what I mean? He pulled up at my crib. We played each other like our music and had deep ass conversations.
Talented,
very talented,
bro.
Very positive.
I wanna play you a song when we get done, bro.
He's very positive. He used to come to my studio. Man, just had deep conversation. He really wanted to be a part of what I had going on, and I remember he asked me about paperwork, and I told him, bro, I don't got nobody on no damn papers.
Yeah.
I ain't got nobody on no paper. Fuck with me. You know what I mean? Fuck with me. I
Bruh,
fuck with you.
So around that time period with K Slate, when you had that situation going on, do you feel like it was anything you could have did to step on the gas and push that further, or do you feel like everything was just supposed to pan out the way it did?
That's tough. I think every idea you see now was chopped up ideas back then. Mm-hmm. Not from me, but just from even any other artist. They're chopped up ideas. It's like, what I mean by that is, let's take the idea of, okay, you want to get paid for a show, right? They'll tell you, pay for an artist, bring them down, charge at the door. That's how you get paid. Back then, the idea would have been halfway there. Like, it would have just been like, man, I really need to get paid for a show. How can we get paid for a show? It just stops right there. Yeah. And then over the course of the years, you'd be like, damn, like, oh, snap, his asking price is only 2 stacks. I got 2 stacks. If I give him 2 stacks, I can make about 5 at the door because I know everybody will show up. I can make about 3, you know what I mean? Like, you start thinking like that, but that's years later. So I feel like at that time, yeah, you can do more with anything, any situation that you got. But you also need guidance. You also need counseling. You also need all of that stuff. If I had to change something, it would be I change that. I change who's around me.
You definitely had the right mindset though, because
my mind is great.
You made a team, and I talk about that on my podcast all the time, dog. It's so hard to have a team, bro. That's because I wish I had one right now. I'd be straight,
bro. That's why when I got back that's why I try to hold on as long as I could with them, because they don't know how hard that is. They don't know how hard it really was to keep people motivated financially to bring them with me. You know what I mean? When if I'm being invested in, my investor like, why are they coming? I have to tell them why I want them to come. They don't see that struggle. You know what I mean? So it's like it was very hard to build a team. Just like I know we had a small falling out, but like she my girl, I love her to death. Like Third Ayana, who works with FAA, she was, traveling with us, doing, going to. She was very heavy in students of the game, Truez Nation, like at the studio all the time, like all of that stuff, and it's so hard to keep that together. I had like 8-9 people around me, including Fresh, that's doing the more creative. So you see what I'm saying? Like, I done been in these situations where AE coming to my studio trying to figure out a name, her artist name. Tia Tuck coming to the studio trying to figure out how she want to come out with her music. Like, it's like I done been around in these weird ass time periods. You know what I mean? I
had Tia Tuck on too.
Word.
Yeah.
Her project was off the chain.
Yeah.
We got an up and down relationship. I love her to death too, but we have an up and down relationship. But her projects was off the chain. But that's neither. I got an up and down relationship with everybody. Obviously, I don't know why. I think because
is it them or is it you?
It's both. It's me not knowing how to.
But the type people you're naming, I can see why. Because
why,
y'all
right?
are like real artists.
We're strong. We're strong minded. We like it's like that. And you know how people, if I start to give people advice, they'll look at me like, all right, nigga, just because you did all of this, don't mean you could say nothing.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's how people receive me. So I've learned to just shut the fuck up, and then we can get along until you say, choose how or when or why, and then I lay it all out. I'm not volunteering no more information like ever again.
You gotta admit though, artists are real stubborn.
Yeah, man, I'm one of the most stubborn niggas alive, bro. Yeah, I know.
It's crazy though. When I come to my craft, I'm not very stubborn, but when it comes to me in real life, I'm super stubborn. Like once my mind set on something, it's over.
You know what's funny about that though? Your craft is for the people. You can't be. You have no room. I can do music in my closet and never release a song, and it just be for me.
That's true.
So it can make me just as stubborn as I want it to make me.
Yeah.
But yours is more like, that's like Martin Luther King being stubborn. Like, you're like, he ain't had no right to not listen to the people. Like, you can't tell us what we need and then not listen to us. So his was different. You know what I mean? But like, nah, yeah, man. Like, we really stubborn. The reason why I really have ups and downs with people is because my dream work is to not have a label, but I want to be executive producer and produce people's projects. That's my whole thing. I want to put together shit. I want to help people write. I want to be involved in that process, right? Come up with marketing schemes. With that said, I'm still an artist and I'm still doing it myself. So when I go to tell somebody, it comes off different. Whereas if I didn't do no music and I was just cool with you, you listen to me all day. But because I do it too, and I try to tell somebody else, they don't know that that's a passion in me. They don't know, like, yo, like, I really feel, if you're a female artist, I really think you need to talk about abortions and having periods and getting pregnant. Like, I really think you just have to say it, at least one song. Why? Because it's what females go through. It has nothing to do with being conscious. It has nothing to do with, trying to be real. It just has something to do with you being who you are, and this is what you go through. Let's not pretend like it don't exist. But when people hear me say that, they probably think I'm trying to turn them into something that I am. And that ain't the case. I just know how people will receive that. You know what I mean? Can you imagine if Tia Tuck came out with a song like that?
That would be crazy.
Bro, people would be like, they will say I love her, but differently. It won't be like, man, I love her because she's so dope. It'll be like, yo, I love her because she's so real.
It's funny you say that because I got a good-ass video idea for Tia. And I'm probably going to do it next week because I'm going to be in Atlanta all next week.
And guess what? She'll listen to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you for the people. Like that's why I put the pressure on podcasters. That's why I put the pressure on videographers, because y'all are the key for a stubborn person like me and a stubborn person like Tia to come together.
Yeah.
And
mesh
make
it all
magic,
together.
bro. Y'all are the key. And so
it's coming though.
Yeah, it is coming. And I might do it. I'm not going to do the same rant, but I might do another one later, when I feel it, you know what I mean? And go in, but it probably ain't going to be on podcasts. Probably, you never know. It might be on content. You know what I mean? It might be on niggas need to stop feeling themselves. It might be on the local aspect. You never know. After this, I might be inspired, But like, it is coming, bro. You know what I mean? But it's just, Augusta it's just a different place, man. It really fires me up even talking about it, because I realize how, difficult this place is to maneuver musically. You know what I mean? But if we have each other, barter system. If we barter, we good, yo. Goods and services. Artists do it all the time. If I hit a nigga up, he like, yeah, come to the store. All right, cool. We doing songs all the time. Why? Because we know that we need this. So if I have a show, guess who can come to my show and hop on stage? That's the whole point. Like when I had my crew, I didn't necessarily envision me staying on stage the whole entire time with them. It's been times like I had threw a show at Joe's Underground, I did 15 minutes straight, boom, 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 hopped off for about 10 minutes, let them rock. It's because that's what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but niggas don't really know that. They don't see it like that. They all want what they want, and that is totally fine. The not so fine part is realizing that you're never gonna get what you want if you think everything is about yourself. That is a universal law. Like nothing in this world
selfishness.
Yeah, man, it's not about you. Everything you do is from people. You want money, you got to do a service for people, and they give you the money. You want
Pro
friends,
bono work.
Yeah, man, like come on.
I believe in that also. I've been doing a lot of it lately too.
Word, bro. Like I can tell. That's how I'm even here is because you have to be a certain individual to get me here.
Yeah.
Because all the other motherfuckers, they can't get me there whether they ask or not. They're not asking for a reason. You know what I mean? But you see how my mind works. You know how yours work. You know what your vision is. If our visions didn't even go like this with each other and tap each other, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
If my vision stopped here and you was over here, you can't look back and say, Truez, get on a podcast. We got to be vision. I might not be where you are financially or wherever the case, but vision, I'm right there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so that's what it all comes down to. And yeah, I gotta go see Lo. I don't know. I just had to backtrack on that, but I gotta go see Lo and mess with him, man. Like,
yeah, that's a good
before
dude.
the music, before he even started doing music, bro. Like, I fuck with that
That's
dude.
a good dude. You definitely need to. And I'm about to play your song now because we about to end this interview, bro.
Word.
But, bro, I appreciate you doing this interview.
Hey, man, it's all love, bro. It's all love. You gonna break it up into snippets and like little cool snippets?
Yeah. I got you. But thank y'all for listening, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube channel, man. And make sure you go get his music on SoundCloud. And we out.